think?
Aaron Judge, what do you think? Legit?
Legit, just
Not on the juice?
no,
No?
no, I don't think so. He's chasing those sliders outside right now, and
Yeah, he's in a little
got
bit
to
of a
get
slump. Yeah, well, I
get
think
a
the
little
whole team is
discipline.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Sanchez is playing well.
Yeah, but his defense is not good.
Castro and Holiday out hurts.
Yeah, but they're going on a rehab assignment this week.
Yeah.
So they should be back next week.
Yeah,
So which is a good thing.
yeah, they could
Yeah.
go down September and do well.
You know, I tell you, with Jeter being one of the owners of the Marlins, I think he's going to help the Yankees in a big, massive trade.
Why would he do that?
I think their best hitter there, Stanton? Yeah,
Giancarlo.
I think he's coming to New York.
Do you really?
I think Jeter's going to give him to New York.
Why would he give
with
him
about
to
3 or
him?
4 players? You're going to see that deal within the next month.
Why would he give him to him? You mean Jeter knows the organization well enough that he knows good prospects he can get for them? Or is he just because he's a Yankee and bleeding Yankee,
Well, you know,
purple, whatever the hell you're
Well,
calling
you know,
it.
it doesn't matter, you know, where Jeter is. You know, well, obviously.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
he owns
them,
another
but you know
team,
what,
he's
but
gonna do
right
anything
here,
for the
you know,
Yankees.
his heart is still a Yankee.
Oh, it is.
I'm walking out of
I'm telling you, his heart is always still a Yankee. I don't care what anybody tells me.
It is, and he, you know,
Look, geez,
he'll,
now you too.
he'll get into the Marlins.
Oh yeah, and I really think that deal is going to be in the making.
Yeah,
You know, right before the end of September, I think.
yeah.
And-
It could very well be.
Yeah, I mean, he give up. Was it that center fielder there that just came off the DL?
Hicks.
Yeah, Hicks, and there was like 2 or 3 other players that they were mentioning today in the paper. Said it could happen. Don't underestimate, you know, the Yankees and the Marlins wheeling and dealing.
They're already talking
Yeah.
trade.
Yeah.
And the deal hasn't even been
Yeah,
finalized
that's
as
right.
far as
Yeah,
ownership.
Yeah, yeah,
Boy, they're jumping the gun.
yeah.
Welcome to the Mr. Baseball Show. I am John Weeks, also known as Mr. Baseball, and along with John Upwood.
I don't like the nicknames.
Oh, right off.
You're gonna flash me back to basic training in the
right
army.
off the bat, we're at each other's throats. At any
Yeah,
rate,
there is a lot to be upset about. The lying, cheating Yankees.
lying, cheating.
Yes,
Okay, explain yourself.
I think it goes without saying that it's a lying, cheating team.
Oh,
Tampering with the Orioles.
they didn't tamper. They wouldn't get away with-
Letting another franchise buy the Marlins so that they can cherry pick the place and be sent $30 million along with Stanton.
Yeah.
That just happens, right?
Well, it's part of the deal.
Sure.
Yep.
Well, let's send the guy that hit 59 home runs, and we'll send $30 million too. So the Yankees, the biggest franchise in all baseball history, the richest franchise, one of the only ones that really ranks up there with the value of a NFL team. We'll give them $30 million. We'll give the Steinbrenner family how much they own a majority stake.
Oh, yeah.
They who are worth at least $2 billion.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll send them $30 million.
Absolutely.
That, and that's not shenanigans. That's not hijinks. Equivalent to Colonel Rupert sending his good friend, whose name I refuse to mention, to buy the baseball franchise in Boston, the American League franchise, and sending Babe Ruth, then plenty of other players too. Red Ruffing, who's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Or what was that SOB's name? Johnson, the guy who owned the lease in Yankee Stadium. So Del Webb and the other SOB developer who owned the Yankees have him snatch up
Topping, I think.
Dan
it is.
Tubbing, a government contractor who made a fortune during World War II, and we all know what government contractors are like.
Yeah.
And, you know, he created Arizona with Sun City. Probably federal government helped them create Sun City in Arizona. partial aside, you go back to Barry Goldwater, the 1964 presidential candidate, the godfather of modern conservatism, who would seem like a flaming liberal now.
I remember him well.
He's always complaining about the government, the government. Arizona would not exist except for the federal government sending in troops to get rid of the Apaches, including Buffalo Soldiers, African Americans, and building the Central Arizona Project, this huge irrigation ditch that you could see from 35,000 miles up when you're coming to L.A. But let's get back. So Johnson buys Kansas City. Oh, who does he ship to?
Oh, yeah,
the
I know.
Bronx?
We all know that.
Another power hitter, the American League home run record holder, Roger Maris.
Yeah?
Plus a bunch of other players. For
Oh.
old. What did they? Well, Don Larson was washed up, and I think they gave him a gross of used jock straps. But the Yankees should be outlawed. We need a real commissioner to stop these shenanigans. Although I do hate Bowie Kuhn for
Bowie Kuhn.
stop those trades to me.
He was probably one of the worst.
Vita Blue on the Yankees. Oh my God.
Yeah.
He still had his stuff, man.
Did Joe Rudy go to the Red Sox?
He was in a uniform along with Raleigh Fingers, but they never played.
They never played.
And Charlie didn't want him back. He claimed that it was Tom Yawkey's property and Steinbrenner's property, but the commissioner made him take them back.
No.
See, Charlie Finley was going to lose everybody under free agency. Free agency, Seats, was that his name? Peter or something? Freed the slaves with collective, from the collective bargaining agreement.
Right.
That Marvin Miller got in there. I think it's in the 72 one after that mini strike. Well, it was a lockout in 72.
72, yeah.
That's why the Red Sox lost the pennant by half again when Louis Aparicio fell down going around third. But he put in arbitration, binding arbitration. The owners snapped it up, never thinking what it could do.
Oh, I know.
So it was binding. The arbitrator freed the slaves because a baseball contract says 1 year, but you're bound in perpetuity, forever.
Right.
Babe Ruth each year had to renegotiate his contract.
Yeah, I know.
So everybody was going to become a free agent. Charlie was going to lose everything. So he needed money to restock. It'd have been a better system if these smaller teams, like Charlie, would have survived better.
He had some great ball clubs, too.
And then Marvin Miller bamboozled them, the owners, because if every ball player was free every year, you'd have a surfeit of talent on the market. It'd be flooded. And that would drive down prices. But the dummies, they gave him, 5 or originally it was 6 years you had to be into bondage before you became a free agent. Is it only 5 now or is it still 6?
Not positive. I think 5, but I'm not positive.
Right. So that kept Reggie Jackson gets, was it $2.8 million for 5 years, about $600,000 a year
Yeah.
from Steinberg. He was the first big free agent.
Right, yeah.
And then the first to break the $1 million mark was Pete Rose from the Phillies after the '79 season.
Yeah.
But,
And
geez, it's so interesting that the Yankees fell apart after '81 and never really got going again until 1995.
6.
When
Well-
Joe Torre comes on.
Yeah, 6, yeah.
Because the other schmo could never win. Buck Showalter can't win.
Oh,
Get you into the playoffs. He can't win.
he drives me nuts.
He goes to a team and he brings it into the playoffs and can't
He
get it
is
anywhere.
such a Yankee hater. I guess because they fired him, but
Yeah.
he just loves beating the Yankees. But he didn't do too well in 2017. I don't know what 2018 is going to bring him. He doesn't have a very good ball club.
So now, Earl Weaver said in the early days, let's say the first decade of free agency, which about the '86, it was good for a team like Baltimore because they could go buy a player for a reasonable price and build a team. From Casey Stengel from the platooning. You didn't need a Reggie Jackson. You could take 2 players, a lefty and righty, and create one player like Casey used to do.
Ah,
But then the prices became so
Yeah.
ridiculous.
they are. Yeah.
What's happened in 1 week on the free agent market?
Nothing.
Red Sox still haven't signed a slugger, have they?
No, they offered Martinez something, but
It's a lot
he
of
turned it down. I guess I heard. This is all speculation and rumor. I heard he wants 7 years.
What he probably wants is 4 years with he can test the free agent market.
Right, yeah.
Like Stanton.
Yeah, there you go. Same situation. But I kind of have to think that Martinez had a 1 year, whatever, just a coming out year. Doesn't mean he's going to bang out 45 round trippers this year. I like to see a player have 2 or 3 years together. Then I can.
Oh, with the Peds now being in baseball again, I'm sure you're going to have stuff like that. And don't give me the stuff. There's no Peds in baseball. When you're talking about the figures, these contracts, these TV contracts, when a franchise like the Marlins can sell for like practically worthless, can sell for $50 million, almost $1 billion.
Yeah, it was
3 times what it was. They thought it was worth because of all these TV contracts. Because see, these teams now, because of the national contracts,
right. TV.
the money involved, people don't want to watch a one hitter. They don't want to watch a great pitcher. They want to see home runs, slob ball.
Yeah.
So they're going to let Peds into the game. They were already in the game.
Well, we have different opinions on that. I know there are Peds in the game, but they are getting caught and suspended.
Ooh.
Minor leaguers and one major leaguer. I can't think of his
One
name.
major leaguer.
Yeah, this year.
And minor leaguers.
Yeah, nailed them.
Oh, my.
So,
Is that like when, what was it, the cops used to have to go into red light districts and raid a few places, and then, just to make sure that the newspapers were after them.
yeah.
And then the place would just open right back up.
Oh, gosh.
The Yankees had 241 home runs last year.
Yeah, they're going to outdo that this year.
You don't know that.
Well, of course I don't know it.
The very idea that you can say, if somebody's going to hit 90 home runs because that's what they want.
Well,
There's no adjustments like the old days
no,
when they adjusted the everything.
the players are bigger, stronger.
Oh,
They
but
hit the ball a mile longer. You're going to have more home runs.
they're bigger, they're strong. I've heard that all my life.
Well, look,
What did Hack Wilson hit?
he hit 56 1 year.
How tall was he?
5'6".
How tall was Willie Mays?
Mays was 5'11", I believe.
5'10".
5'10".
Nobody really knows, but how many home runs did he hit in a career?
Mays,
Yeah,
high sixes.
660.
Yeah,
He hit 50 twice when 50 was doing something.
yeah.
He's only 5'10" or 5'11".
Oh, well, he was one of the greatest players
What
ever.
about Mickey Mantle? How tall was he?
He was 5'11".
How many times did he hit 50 home runs?
Twice.
How many home runs did he hit in a career that was abbreviated by terrible injuries?
Oh,
536 or
yeah, 536 was his final total.
is it 536 or
536.
Because Jimmy Fox hit 535, and I know we all think of the 536th one because what was it? Joe Pepitone wrote about it.
Oh,
No, Ball One. It was Boughton that wrote about it. Somebody wrote about it that made it famous.
Boughton, probably.
They revealed that he wanted that home run,
Ball four.
and I can't remember the pitcher. Could have been Jim Codd or somebody well known. Let him have one right down the middle
That was
because everybody respected him so much.
that was Denny McLean.
It was Denny McLean that grooved the ball.
Yeah, and Pepitone, who was up next, said, "What? Will you give me one?" He said, "No." So
So
yeah,
it must have been in '68 because
yeah,
it was the end of his career.
yeah, that was his final year.
He went to spring training in '69, but announced his retirement. That's when he announced his retirement at spring training.
I didn't know that. I knew it was after the season, but I didn't
Yeah,
know he had gone to spring training. I
He
thought
was going to try. He was the Yankees. What did they have in '69? Horace Clark?
Oh yes, Stuff like that. The Yankees were a terrible team in those years.
Was Bobby Mercer up then?
Yeah, he was in and around. Yeah.
Yeah, with the rookie draft starting in '65, the Yankees couldn't buy up all the good talent, could they? Like the old days.
No, not in the old days.
Hurt St. Louis too, because they used to buy up everybody.
Yeah, they're the first team to have a good farm system.
Yeah, on their Branch Rickey.
Right.
Oh, Kennesaw Mountain Landis hated farm systems. He
Did he?
said, yeah, there's a famous confrontation between him and Branch Rickey, and they have the transcript. And he was a federal judge. He's the one who broke up Shell, the Rockefellers, Standard Oil.
Oh, Standard Oil.
And he said it would it's going to destroy the minor leagues to take away their independence. I'll have to look it up. There's a famous thing he talks about, and Branch Rickey's right there countering every argument. And but that was the strength of St. Louis, which was a great franchise, probably second only to the Yankees.
Yeah. I heard that Landis didn't particularly care about Happy Chandler. I don't know how.
Well, Happy Chandler came in after.
Oh, I know. He was the second commissioner of baseball.
Mountain Landis died.
He
40. Yeah, he died.
Before he was in office when he died?
He died, I believe.
He didn't retire.
No.
Oh, okay, so I don't know why he would have something against Chandler, except maybe he was governor of Kentucky or.
Well, Happy Chandler backed up the integration of baseball.
And good for him.
And he was from a border state, which I'm sure.
Kentucky.
Which I'm sure was.
Yeah, well, I'll be darned. Well, anyway, getting back to the lack of free agents.
He died in 44.
44?
Yeah.
Commissioner, and I believe Chandler came in 45.
I thought it was. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe they went without a commissioner for a year or two. Who knows?
You never know with baseball, huh?
No. Then Frick replaced Chandler.
Who is Rob Manfred?
I don't know.
You're right. Happy was 1945 to 51.
45 to 51. Okay.
He was a party hack.
And then Ford Frick.
But the
took
New
over.
Deal and that, you know.
Yeah.
But he was without him, you'd have no integration.
Well, he was a good man then. Very good man. Oh, so.
Oh, this is what he said. I've already done a lot of thinking about this whole racial situation in our country. As a member of the Senate Military Affairs Committee, I got to know a lot about our casualties during the war. Plenty of Negro boys were willing to go out and fight and die for this country. Is it right when they came back to tell them they can't play the national pastime?
Yeah.
You know, Branch Rickey. You know, Branch, I'm going to have to meet my maker someday. And if he asks me why I didn't let this boy play, and I say it's because he's black, that might not be a satisfactory answer. The boy being Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson.
And boy being a pejorative term for a Negro, but that's Southerners.
Yeah.
Boy, really, it's not something you'd say to a Negro after maybe Martin Luther King starts.
Yeah. Well, good for Happy Chandler.
Well,
He's back. That's good.
I'd like to finish what Matt Connerton would call a dramatic reading. If the Lord made people black, if the Lord made some people black, and some white, and some red or yellow, he must have had a pretty good reason. It isn't my job to decide which colors can play big league baseball. It is my job to see that the game is fairly played and that everybody has an equal chance. I think if I do that, I can face my maker with a clear conscience.
Well said. But how you think of these players, talking about the black players, that came out of World War II, And couldn't play, just as you said, couldn't
Well,
play
they
the
did. There were more blacks fought, I think, in World War One
Oh, I know.
than in World War Two, because it wasn't. For some reason, the army wasn't as racist in World War One.
They
It
even-
might be the nature of it being a short war.
They even fought in the Civil War.
They came out and they didn't have a damn chance.
No,
Not a chance at all. Some
No.
great, great ball players.
I know. Josh Gibson, for one. There's a lot of them. And a lot of them came up late, like Monty Irvin, who was a good ball
But
player.
is Monty Irvin in the Hall of Fame?
I'd have to check that. I don't know. But he was a good player for the Giants, the old New York Giants. And with Mays in center and Mueller in right, that was a pretty good outfield.
He played in Negro League baseball. Then he was in the Army from military service 43 to 45.
Wow. So he did come up late.
Yeah, he started his career in 1938 with the Newark Eagles, which is one of the great Negro. Wow, it was a good. It's great because I've heard of him.
When did he play for the start with the Giants?
I think in 51, wasn't it? But let's see. Oh, Giants 49 to 55, Cubs 56. Oh, so he only played 8 seasons.
Yeah.
You don't get in the
Because he
Hall
came up late.
But
Yeah, you're probably right. He probably won't get in because of the.
he's a member of the
shortness of
Hall
his
of
career.
Fame. He is a member of the Hall of Fame,
He is.
and
Well,
he was
good.
elected in 1973 by the Negro League Committee.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's another one that the Boston franchise didn't want.
Oh, I know.
They were all they were there for the signing. I was going to say picking, but that sounds racist. You know, cotton picking and
They
stuff.
turned down Willie Mays.
What was it? One of the famous scouts of the time. He liked the black ball players like Willie Mays. I think it was the guy who went after Willie Mays. And he worked for the Red Sox and then finally quit. Because he used to be the white. He always wanted to sign somebody who was hungry. Right out, like Jimmy Fox. They said, what was he in a watermelon field at 17 in a plow? And they signed him, and at 17 he's already on the Athletics. They probably signed him at 16, but he was a farm boy.
Yeah.
Harmon Killebrew always said he threw hay
Yeah.
when he was a kid, stuff
Yeah.
like that. And
Bob Feller.
but he wanted them hungry, so because they didn't want to go back, like he'd say, to the cotton patch, the Negroes. So you meet a Willie Mays, all this great talent. I guess his father worked in the steel mills, which was a particular type of hell.
Yeah.
Gene Shepard, who's known for Christmas Story, actually wrote stories about and talked about what it's like to work in a steel mill, because he did when he
Yeah.
came back from the war. So they were hungry, just like poverty. Sports is a way out of poverty.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why that first baseman of the Dodgers, what's his name?
Parker.
Yeah, Wes Parker his family was rich. I think they're the
The Parker Pen Company.
and nobody really liked him at first because they didn't. Here's a rich boy. He doesn't need a bonus to already have his convertible.
He drove up to the minor league training camp in a Mercedes.
Is that what it was? And so
Yeah, he had money, and
So-
I actually met his twin brother who didn't play baseball.
maybe we can have Ozzie Canseco on the show.
Oh, that'd be nice.
The twin brother that didn't hit 500, 400 some home runs.
No, I think he hit maybe 3.
3 home runs in his entire minor league career.
Major league career, too.
Ozzie wasn't in the major leagues, was he?
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely was in the majors. Be it very little. So,
Jesus, there's this company called Resort Rewards. It never stops calling me.
oh, I get that all the time. Everything. Oh, so,
We only got like 3 minutes.
okay, well,
The
that-
Yankees are a fiendish, demonic organization. And if you come on my show tonight, I'll try to prove it.
I
As
have
I've
to.
been trying to prove all this time.
I have to work tonight.
Oh, so you're all over. You're all through.
Well, I'm going to try to work it out, but tonight I have to work, and
So it's all over.
it's
The party's over.
the North End Bistro is really excellent. Good entrees, good appetizers, desserts.
Is it free to members of the working sports press?
Yeah, if you're over 110.
110 pounds?
No, 110 years of age.
I feel like 110.
But people should come down. We're at Myrtle and Elm. It's a wonderful, wonderful restaurant. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 9 on the first 3 days, and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10. We do lunches also.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So are you going to slip members of the working sports press free drinks?
Absolutely. Come on in. I'll buy you a drink.
By water, a glass of water.
Whatever. I'll buy you a beer.
So this is the end of the sports part of my show, which I'm thinking of giving up anyway. So.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, I would love to do it with you, but tonight I'm committed to work.
Hey, let's give a shout out to Baked, the downtown cafe where you got your sandwich today, and who generously helped a broken down old veteran as he was struggling on his 2 canes on the ice.
Gave you change for $1, huh?
It helped. Well, what else do we have to say?
Oh, that's pretty much it. I'm hoping that there's some activity during the week so that we can have something to talk about before spring training.
And always bring a camera down to your place of work.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
Jackie Gleason used to tend the bar on his show, and what was it, Crazy Guggenheim or something? would come
Guggenheim,
in?
yeah.
We could invite all the crazy Guggenheims.
Yeah.
Scumpy. I'm not saying Scumpy's crazy. I've already got enough legal troubles, right?
Oh, gosh.
Well, I to end this part of the Mr. Baseball show with your great new background.
Yeah, the old professor.
Uh-oh. You have to pick your own
You
background.
wink yourself.
7 World Series victories, but he's not satisfied. A record. Well, he tied a record.
I enjoyed those, but I still am upset about 60. That was a giveaway.
It was Danny Murtaugh's year, or however the hell you pronounce his name.
Danny Murtaugh, you got it right.
Danny Murtaugh.
Yeah.
I think he was born in the 19th century, too.
Was he?
Yeah.
Well, he's gone now.
You weren't born in the 19th century, were you?
Just about. 1940. 1940.
I feel like I was born in the 16th century. Well, give him a fare thee well.
Well, fare thee well, and keep swinging.